Now about a couple of guys named Thelonious Monk. Billy Taylor is here with us. Billy, Thelonious Monk, the father was, he would be 80 years old now.
Actually, he would have, yeah, he would have been 80 last Friday, this past Friday.
Mm-hmm. But you knew him when he was a young man.
Very, yeah. I met him, I was in college and I came up and I was taken by an older pianist to James P. Johnston's house, and there were all these fine pianists, and he was one of them. He was the youngest guy there. And he's a little older than I, but he was the youngest of those men. And he played like Art Tatum. He was running all over the piano, he was doing all these things. I tell people that they don't believe it now. They say he didn't have that much technique, but he did.
And his son?
His son, T.S., we have to call him. We used to call him Tootie because that was his nickname, and he loved those things, trains in those days. But he's really keeping his dad alive now, and he's the reason that so many people love the music.
Let's take a look.
Thank you. I really don't know where to begin other than to tell you that I'm T.S. Monk, and that stands for Thelonious Sphere Monk. And for those of you who don't know, I'm actually the third, and my father, the guy that so many of you are familiar with, was actually the second. And
these San Francisco fans packed this house to bond with a legendary genius of jazz. Most of them never met Thelonious Monk, but they love his music, and they're getting a chance to better understand his work through his son.
Thelonious, I think, and from what I've talked to musicians around him, was really a sound guy. And he always told me that the most important feature of a musical composition was the melody, haunting melody. So I know that he wrote basically from the melody down.
One night we decided to go to the 5-spot. There was this man with a beard on the piano. It was just, you couldn't even get close to it. And he's doing his thing and runs, missing a lot of notes. And after a while, I told my wife, geez, this guy, he doesn't play the piano so good. You know, let's get out of here. Today, I have every record he made. I can't get enough. I can't get enough, Monk.
As a child, T.S. watched his father play piano with friends at home, but he didn't discover the depth of his dad's talent until years later.
I didn't know who he was until I was 19 years old. And I put this record on over and over again, and each time the magnitude of my father's artistry, right, was expanding geometrically. All of a sudden, there were two people in the house. There was three of us now. There was me, there was Daddy, and there was Thelonious Monk. You dig? And I can't tell you.
Thelonious Monk is synonymous with jazz. He's known as one of the creators of bebop.
And Thelonious was there. He was a contributor, a fundamental contributor to bebop, along with Dizzy and along with Bird. But Thelonious was the architect of modern jazz.
In what would have been Monk's 80th year, numerous events like Monk's World, a traveling photo exhibit, are honoring this jazz giant. His son, T.S., who plays drums, also created a special birthday tribute to his dad. A concert tour performing the music of Thelonious Monk, making its American debut at the Stern Grove Music Festival in San Francisco.
I want the world to hear this music this way because Thelonious didn't get the opportunity to really state his case in many ways while he was here. But I can state his case, so I'm going to state his case.
It must be heartening for him to look down on you and see that you're carrying on the spirit in the same way that he has.
From the moment people came in, there was just this vibe like we've come to play Thelonious, we've come to play the hell out of Thelonious' music. We've come to do the right thing, and no one had any ego. And I said to myself, I said, it's you, Dad, it's you doing again the same thing you used to do when we used to go to Newport Jazz Festival. He seems to have the same effect today. That's a profound tribute, you know, to his music.
And Monk's music lives again on this all-star CD produced by his son, T.S.
He's been gone for a few years now, and it's getting bigger and bigger. How do you account for that?
One day, I realized that Thelonious was 20, 30 years ahead of his time. If this is the truth, and today it seems like it was the truth, well then, it would take the world 20 or 30 years to catch up.
What this disc does via this enhanced portion is allow the user, the listener, to go online.
The tribute CD also connects jazz fans to the internet, where a whole new generation is being introduced to Thelonious Monk.
He'd stop for anyone and sign an autograph and take 3 minutes to do it because it was very special for him, and that was important to him.
New technology also lets T.S. talk about his dad on the radio and reach a worldwide audience in cyberspace at the same time.
It's N2K encoded music, and it's just out today. Again, we're streaming live on the internet. www.jazzcentralstation.com.
Those of you who don't know, Thelonious really studied all the traditional piano players. I can assure you there were piles of Chopin and Mozart and Handel and Haydn and all of that music. He played that music.
Although born in North Carolina, Monk grew up in New York City and attended Stuyvesant High School for 2 years before dropping out to pursue his musical career.
This is it's really outrageous, man. It's terrific.
Well, you know, someone asked me, they said, well, what would Thelonious do if he saw this? I said, he would have that funny half grin that he would give, and it would probably be because he wouldn't understand really what the fuss was.
Yeah, right.
If you can get your butt to New York, you better get your butt to 243 West 63rd Street and talk to Monk, because Monk has it all together and Monk is accessible. His phone number was in the telephone book on the day he was on the cover of Time magazine. You know, the tragedy is that Thelonious didn't play in America enough. It's remarkable, but ironic that he played all over the world in a lot of places, all the places that jazz went, a lot of places that jazz didn't go, but he never really played in America.
Monk may not have played much in his native land, but thanks to the devoted efforts of T.S., his music plays on, now and forever etched in America's jazz history and the memories of his son.
I'm eternally grateful to my daddy, for making sure that this guy, Thelonious Monk, right, gave the same musical gift to his son that he gave to all the other guys. They didn't give him a special treatment, just that same treatment. Because that same treatment was some real special stuff